Okay. Hey, everyone. Thank you for coming out. And this is Democracy Days 2023. This has been happening every year since 2001. Emeritus English professor Michael Kelker is the one who started this back in 2001. And today I'm introducing, we are here for the open mic session with SGA, your Student Government Association. There's also an upcoming election for student government. There are some flyers over on the table. If you haven't got one, make sure you grab one on your way out so that you can vote, because this is your student government. And today you're going to hear from Piper Stutsman and another member of the Student Senate, and they're going to kind of share their thoughts. You all can share yours. It's an open forum, and talk about what's on your minds as students. Thank you.
Is it on? Okay, thanks. Hi. Hi, guys. Yeah, like Lindsay said, I'm Piper Stutsman. That's Michael Quinn. He's really cool. He plays soccer. He's one of our Senate members. And then we have another member coming soon, my parliamentarian, Tiffany Slagle. But kind of stalling so that, oh, there she is. So that the class can come in. But yeah, we're just gonna, we have like 8 prompts today. I think that'll be enough. If not, I guess I'll just ask you guys what you think about things going on in the world right now. I think we can start. Here, Michael, you want to pull one? Yeah. Okay. Put one in there. Yeah.
All right. So the first prompt is gun violence. How does it affect college? Does it affect college/university choices? And then...
And that's architecture versus safety, like school buildings and stuff, right? So does anyone want to speak about that? Anyone? Any thoughts? No? You guys are quiet. Well... sorry. Yeah. So how does it so how would it affect your college choice? Like if there was a college, say, in St. Louis, like SLU, would that impact your choice to go to SLU versus, I don't know, somewhere like here? Like, yes, no, like would that impact? No? Okay, that's all good. Like, I'm sorry, we mean like, sorry. Like heightened gun violence in certain cities, certain areas of the country, and in campuses who are in those certain areas, does it affect your choices on going to those colleges versus somewhere like here or, I don't know, other places like...
I'm from a gun-safe country, so it's U.S. schools all the same. Like,
all the same, yeah.
So like, oh, there is a gun. That's weird. So.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll put this away. Sorry.
South Korea? Yeah.
Oh, thanks for the lights. I didn't see. That's fun. Yeah. Oh, this is a fun one. Okay, so this is tuition cancellation ending soon. So after COVID, I don't think it'll affect many of you in this room, but what are your thoughts on the Supreme Court overturning Biden's passing of the tuition like pauses? Anyone have any thoughts on that?
I have one. Hello, Americans. So yeah, as I said, I'm from South Korea, and I graduate the college in there, 4-year college, and I didn't pay at all. I didn't. Well, the school provide the full scholarship, but originally, just for the semester, it just less than 1,500. So per semester, I usually take that 21 to 24 credits per semester, and if I didn't get the scholarship, I should pay like $1,300 per semester. And now I'm here at the international student, and I just take it 13 credit, and this semester I paid it more than $3,000, right? So I'm just like, seriously? That's pretty intense. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, of course, obviously it's inflating. Yeah. I mean, the professors are nice, and you're speaking a universal language, like English, so it's probably more guaranteed than the South Korea, but like, for me, it's not value like 3,000 per semester for 13 credits. So you know what? Did you remember the Eric Schmidt? Who knows Eric Schmidt? Eric Schmidt. So who is Eric Schmidt, mister? Senator. Before that? Yeah, and he sued the Biden administration, and it's overturned in the Supreme Court. And he said on Twitter, it was for our student. And our student, so he graduated through law school, and he worked in the Attorney General in Missouri, and he always said, well, I was a poor, and student debt cancellation is just ridiculous because I was poor. And I thought it was just ridiculous and doesn't make sense. I was very poor. I was very, very, very poor before I adopted by immigrant family in here. So for me, when I was in Korea, like under 1,300 per semester fee was extremely high tuition fee. And now here, I'm just overwhelming. I just came 2 days school and working 4 days at a nail salon, and for the tuition. And after the tuition, I don't have nothing. So I just want to ask that as an American, so you guys are all Americans, right? As an American, do you think is it really for poor people or struggling with poverty to just reject the cancellation? And that's it.
So you're asking, sorry, what did you ask?
So I just asked that as an American, so you guys I think that is a rejecting cancellation of student debt is really for poor people? Is it real? Eric Schmidt was right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Do you guys think it was for the poor people? Like, You're fine. Speak. You're all good.
So, there is an idea that the American population may be too overeducated. So, if everyone is able to have the education of maybe like a neuroscientist, I'm not really familiar with the job market, so I can't really give a clear explanation on this. But if have maybe like a doctorate in neuroscience and then you can't find jobs because everyone else has a doctorate in that too, then you may have to resort to going to a less qualified job. For example, you may have to be a janitor. Even though that job doesn't require that level of education, you would be stuck there. So that person wouldn't be able to pay off their doctorate because they're only making a salary that doesn't suit their education level. And that is one of the reasons why trade jobs are very in demand right now. And they may not need such education. So this student debt thing, it is a problem, but it may be a cultural difference and why, I don't know. I mean, not like just the area, because the populace may be different. I can't say I'm not 100% familiar with this subject, but this is just from what I've known so far. Because I don't know the differences between the South Korean population and the American population. There is different policies, and it's just the result of that. But I think overeducation may have something to do with this problem in America.
Overeducation is a big problem in South Korea too, so I think it's not quietly. Sorry. Sorry, I'm American.
Did you have a question, Vicky? Yeah.
Something to consider about the United States is that our wages have stagnated in the last decade, I believe, and the cost of education has, some estimates, increased 500%. So it's not necessarily that we're overeducated, it's that but it's similar to what you say, is we're graduating with these degrees, but the workplace is not providing the salaries that were once promised for college-educated people.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I did not actually know that, so that's good information. Oh Lord, I was going to ask a question. Oh, you're fine.
I got a bunch of stuff I could say.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, my wife is father's from Denmark, and we spent 3 weeks in Denmark, and she was curious because the taxes in Denmark is 50%. So 50% of your income is taken by the government, but then you get free health care, free education. Basically everything else is free, but you pay 50% of your income, so it really isn't free. People have to agree. It's a socialist country, Denmark. You probably know that. Anyone here been to Denmark? I don't know anyone else been there. But it's a beautiful country and very, very well off. I was a Peace Corps volunteer for 5 years in Africa when I graduated from college. So one of the biggest problems there, I was an educator. Our kids graduated, and where did they go? There was no jobs. So what did? They left Africa and came to Europe or America. And I have a lot of African friends. There's a lot of them around St. Louis. They're friends of mine. They're never going to go back because there's no opportunity back in their countries. None of them that I know want to live back in Africa. They all have good jobs here. See, I'm not sure if you want to go back to Korea or not. Maybe you would, but normally people get here, like my ancestors, and I don't want to go anywhere. My ancestors are Scottish, and my mother was from Latvia, if you know what that is, Latvia. So, but they're doing well. But in terms of loans, I got a scholarship for academic scholarship. I got a scholarship for athletics because I was a good athlete. So I paid and then I worked full time in college. I took 18 credit hours every semester, and I worked full time. So luckily when I left, I didn't have any student debt. But It's a hard problem. A friend of mine suggested, which I think is a good idea. Anyone here have student debt? Anyone here? Well, if you do get student debt, what he recommended is if you pay over 10 years. If you graduate from college, you pay a certain amount for 5 years or 10 years, and at that point, if you can do that, then the rest of your debt is forgiven, rather than just forgive everything. If you're talking about forgiving debt, I think that was a good idea, because when I went to college and took loans out to go to college, I knew I had to pay it back. So I didn't want. So I had some loans because even enough to cover my tuition and room and board. But I feel bad for young people that friends of mine have daughters and sons that have $50, $60, $80,000 in debt, and that's a tough one. That's a tough one. You go to Elon Musk and go to Jeff Bezos and go to you probably know these people. There's billionaires out there, and maybe they can donate some of their money.
Oh, don't we wish? Well, I'm just gonna, yeah. How many people here are on A+? Yeah, I know, me too. A+, yeah. So like, that covers basic tuition here for 2 years, or at least 2-year equivalent, right? And for the people who aren't, are you guys on loans or just kind of paying it like out of pocket? Pretty much, yeah. I'll walk over here. So, like, what are your thoughts on like the tuition and how it's like, I don't know.
So as someone who is not on any type of scholarship, and I didn't have A+ or anything, and I don't come from a rich family, so I'm paying everything out of pocket for myself, same thing with car insurance, bills and everything. I have to work 3 jobs just to keep up with the pay and everything, and this is just community college. This isn't even like a university pay. So I don't know what I'm gonna do financially after Scott. I want to be a nursing major, so I want to try to stay here. But if that doesn't end up working and I have to go to a university, it's gonna be hard, because even the job market now can't, like, the pay isn't equal to the amount that we have to pay for other things. Like, you're just not getting the subsistence to pay for like insurance, gas, just living. The cost of housing is insane right now. So like, being like a 19-year-old, I want to move out at some point, but I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do that with just the cost of living is insane. Right, just like on a minimum wage job.
Either move out with 5 of your friends or move out after you get your degree.
Right, which I'll be like 30 at that point. I don't want to be a 30-year-old living at home. So yeah.
Yeah, did you want to? Sorry, yeah. You're all good.
So, I really want to go to Mizzou, but I have a lot of like things I need to worry about. Like, my parents had 3 other older kids who all went to different colleges, and some things that my siblings did, they had a bunch of student debt, and they kind of just all dumped it on my parents. And so now my parents, yeah. So my parents are left with all of this, and so they're like, we don't really want to pay for you as well. So I'm in a position where I'm stuck either doing this, going to community college, which is fine, but like, I really want to go to like a university kind of situation. But, and I have to worry about like all of so I have type 1 diabetes. So I have to worry about all my medical stuff and all of that. So like, I really want to go to a university so I can work on a degree to get a good job, so I can support myself in the future, like, because I have like 10 times the things to worry about to be able to just live. And like, I feel completely stuck and lost, and like, I'm gonna be drowning in student debt if I even want to live on my own. Like, it's hard.
No, I got it.
Hey, Piper, I just want to, what's the young lady's name?
Me?
Yep.
Abigail.
Abigail, we want you to be able to transfer from here and go to Mizzou and to get the degree in the program of study that you desire to do, okay? How many of you have completed the FAFSA? Okay? That's not the overwhelming majority, okay? And that is a free application for student financial aid. And by the way, I am Bridget Goldman. I'm your interim vice president for student development, okay? I was at a student conference we took a group of students down to Jefferson City last week, okay? And it was the leadership conference. And one of the things they shared in this conference is that students in Missouri, you leave $72 million on the table for financial aid. Did you hear that? $72 million. And how do you leave it on the table? You leave it on the table because you don't complete the FAFSA. You just automatically assume that you're not going to apply, you're not going to qualify any aid. Every person in this room should complete the FAFSA if you qualify. Now, if you're an international student, it's federal financial aid. So if you're an international student, you don't qualify. But other than that, complete it, because not only do you qualify or potentially qualify for federal aid, you potentially qualify for state aid too. And that's important. For me, I was a first-generation college student. And so I had some of the same concerns that you had. It's like, how do I make this happen? How do I actually pay for college? In between, I worked at Chick-fil-A, worked crazy hours like you were talking about, okay? But I got a Chick-fil-A scholarship for college, and then I completed the FAFSA. And so I got awarded financial aid, and that is free financial aid, Pell Grant, that you don't have to pay back, okay? And then you have the option of accepting or declining your student loans. But that's important, because when I looked at our information here at SCC, what I noticed is that many of our students do not complete that FAFSA. You need to complete it. Let them tell you no about free money, right? Like to say the lottery, you got to be in it to win it. You know, if you don't submit your information, you don't know if you qualify, even if it's $500. That's $500 less you have to pay. Even if it's not the federal Pell Grant, it could be the state grant that you get. But you can't get any of that money if you don't apply, okay? So it's important. Typically, the application for the financial aid form opens up in October, but because the Department of Ed is doing some changes, it's going to open up in December this year, all right? When it opens, make sure you complete. Now, it's going to take your time, but for me, okay, if it takes an hour and I get $500, I just made $500 an hour. That's a pretty good salary, right? And if you get $6,300, or if you get $5,000, that's a lot of money for just an hour of your time.
Hosting workshops to help students.
Yes.
This year, so
Yes.
It's an overwhelming process. I've tried to fill it out with my own. I'm a college educator, and I've tried to fill out the FAFSA on my own, and we need help. So we have workshops for you. You'll see announcements. Look around. Ask our financial aid office when they're hosting those workshops. Bring your parents and guardians with you. Bring all your paperwork. Ask them what you need. Come in, and we will help you go through that process. And unfortunately, you have to do it every year, and it's exhausting, and it's mind-numbing. But once you do it, then the money's there.
Also, I was going to mention, I know that you said that you want to go to Mizzou. One thing that a lot of students don't know is that a lot of schools, like when you transfer, there's a transfer scholarship piece of it. So I always tell students that I work with is that, you know, when you come to SCC, like right now, grades have not been posted yet if you're a first-time entering student, but everybody that comes into college is given a 4.0. It's your job to maintain that all the semesters you're in. Now, granted, I know life happens and stuff, but if you plan on transferring, make sure that you understand that you have to, one, you know, have a good GPA. A good GPA is a 3.0 or higher, and then you must complete your, you know, degree hours, which could be like 60 hours or so. If you do that, have the GPA, get involved, I can guarantee you that those scholarship opportunities will be out there. So whether you are helping out with Service Learning Week, whether you helping student activities, whatever the case may be, get involved, maintain that GPA, talk to your professors, because a lot of them would know some of those programs that you're interested in. So I would highly recommend that while you're here at SCC. I know that you probably think that going to a four-year university is going to be super expensive, but I can guarantee you, if you trust the process by doing the work, by completing the FAFSA, maintaining the GPA, asking for help and stuff like that, I can assure you that you will get the scholarship money that you will have, so that you won't be working those 3 jobs and stuff like that.
Another places to look for money are your banks, where you bank, and your parents' employers. Talk to your parents, see if their employers have some sort of tuition match program or tuition assistance program, and wherever you do your banking, ask. It can't hurt to ask, right? Get used to hearing no, that's fine. Just keep asking.
Rotary, Lions, they give scholarships all the time.
A lot of local organizations that you don't even know about.
Kiwanis, if you don't know any of them, optimist clubs. Our Kiwanis Club gave out 14 $1,000 scholarships back in June. We have $300,000 that we have invested, so the proceeds of that investment every year we have to give out for scholarships. The money is saved, and the money we earn from that investment, we give scholarships, and a lot of people do that. So you can get like you're saying, $500, $1,000.
That's a third of your tuition. I mean, you're really there.
This actually does go into not a great thing, but a thing that's happening right now. I don't exactly remember the name, but certain colleges that are certain universities that are in, oh my Lord, help me out here. They're in it's like the colleges of Missouri. It's like UMSL, Lindenwood, Most State,
Missouri Community College Association?
No, just.
You're talking about where the credits are automatically transfers every time?
I'm talking about sorry, I just don't remember what it's called and I feel bad. But it's regarding tuitions and scholarships. Some universities in this, I say some, universities in this group are moving towards tuition increases and certain scholarship, they won't accept third-party scholarships. And this includes UMSL is moving towards this, Lindenwood is moving towards this, Most State is moving towards this. I'm saying this because I had a conversation about this with my predecessor, actually, because he goes to UMSL. And so what do you guys think about that, how some colleges in Missouri are moving towards not accepting third-party scholarships? Does anyone want to speak about that?
I just want to add some data.
Yeah. You're good.
Sorry. So it's about the data. And you can find it at debt.org. So credit.com surveyed the database and found that 73% of people who died between 2016 October and December had outstanding debt after death. The average bill they left on the table was $61,554.
Yeah. That is too much. I want to walk back here. So how do you guys think about, I want to walk over this row. How do you guys think about certain colleges not accepting third party, oh my Lord, sorry, scholarships? Thank you. Anyone talk about it? You look like you want to talk.
I don't know, I feel like they shouldn't have, nothing should force them to accept them, but I mean, it is unfortunate that they don't.
Yeah. Anyone else? Over here? No? I'm just trying to get used to talk. I'm trying to get used to talk, so.
You said your predecessor talked about it? Yes. Did he have any reasoning why? Because I'm just really curious, it's money. I love to take money.
So my predecessor, Carson Howe, if you were here last year, he was the guy who wore suits to campus every day. That's who he was. Anyway, he's going to UMSL right now, and his tuition for the next 2 years, his junior and senior year, is paid in full through third-party scholarships. His tuition is paid off, but here comes the question. UMSL and other colleges are moving towards not accepting those third-party scholarships. And so it bears the question of, is his college going to get being paid for? And that it applies to all of you guys, for people who want to go to a four-year college. I don't actually know if Mizzou is a part of this, probably. Sorry. I should have done my research, sorry. But, so it bears the question to all of you, so your tuition is going to be increased. Your chances to use third-party scholarships is going to decrease, meaning you'll have to pay more money out of pocket, or try to find certain ways to get scholarships in, legitimately, obviously, but through colleges rather through a bank or former employers, like you said. So how do you guys feel about that, is what I'm saying. Anyone? Yeah? Sorry. Running. Here you go.
I just think it's proof that these educational institutes they don't care as much about educating the people and more about the money that they're getting out of it. Because like she said, money is money, but if they're forcing you into a corner where you have to take loans and put yourself into debt, then you have to pay interest. They're getting a lot more money from you because you're paying interest. So they care a lot more about the money than they do about educating Americans as a whole, if that's what, if what you're saying is true.
I will say, this is Missouri. I'm not too sure about other states. This is just what's happening in Missouri right now. But this actually goes great into the next question that we pulled. Here you go, Michael.
Thanks. Which is the importance of college and like why you should go. And if you think it's better to just get an associate's or go to a bachelor's or a master's.
Like, what's the point if it costs so much money? There you go.
Do you guys have anything? Yeah.
I feel like it just kind of depends on like your drive and like kind of just like what kind of future you want for yourself. I feel like if those like who are going to like law school, like my cousin, she just graduated from Mizzou doing law, and she's going back for more semesters to continue her criminal justice major. I'm going to film, so it's just kind of, yeah. So it's just kind of like, I think it's like, that's something that I want, it's like a career that I want for my life and to be happy in, and it's like I'm willing to pay if it will help me get the future that I would like. I feel like it's just like the amounts that I have to be paid, it's like kind of an inconvenience, because now I'm going to be probably in debt because I'm paying out of pocket, and it's kind of, it was very interesting making the transfer from like taking a gap year and then starting school here, because I was working to save so I could start here. So I think it's just depending on like what kind of future you want for yourself, and if an associate's gets you what makes you happy, then that's enough for you, and then other people have more drive to move further. So
yeah, I don't agree with you. I feel like it also just depends on what like you want to do. Like people who want to go to trade school or want to be a part of the trades, you don't always have to go to colleges, because those are more of like just experiencing and hands-on and just learning how to do it and practicing over and over and over again. And for some things, you don't need a textbook to tell you how to do it or how to learn it. It's more of just being out in the world and doing it and practicing it more than just reading about it. Yeah. So it kind of all depends. And like my mom, she works for Spectrum, and there's a girl that is on her team who got a bachelor's degree in nursing, and it's for Spectrum, like, and she makes more money than her just because she has a bachelor's. Not even in the program that she works for. Yeah.
I was going to say, that's a very good point because I was told some really great advice from the former student life manager, James Bretter. Yeah, he's so cool. But he said, bachelors will get you everywhere. Don't get a master's unless they pay for it. Like, not always. Like, sometimes you do need masters for certain jobs, but in the most majority of jobs, it's, oh, you have a bachelor's. If you get a master's, you might not earn more money. If a job will offer you more money to get a master's, get a master's. But I mean, I do see your point. It's like, why, unless if you get more money because of it, why go for maybe even a bachelor's? Yeah.
It's also like kind of more about like needs than wants, because like I never wanted to go to college. I wanted to be a tattoo artist. I got an apprenticeship. I was starting to do it, and it was fun. I liked it, but that would have taken me so long to get somewhere to actually be able to make money and support myself. So I switched tracks and went to college, and I want to become a diabetes educator or medical sales or something like that, because I know that that would be something that would support me. And it's like, I don't really want to do that for the rest of my life, but I'll settle for it because I want to be able to live comfortably. So like,
yeah.
It's me again. I really agree with that, because when I was in Korea, my major was law. And my minor subject was philosophy, education, and political science. So you can guess that I'm a pretty good student, huh? So, and after I came here, I got pretty good LSAT score. Do you know LSAT? Yeah, I got 178 out of 180. That's pretty good. Yep. And I don't have green card actually, so I can pay my living costs. So my stepdad and mom told me that cancel the score, so I canceled it. And I choose a nursing course here. That's the life is going. That's the way that life is going. So I think it's not that necessary that asking, why should I go to college, or why should we go like make money for the college? It's not necessary to asking those kind of people, like students, because how old are you, ma'am? 18. How old are you, sir? 18. How old are you, son? How old are you? See? 19. I'm 24. I'm 24. So, well, I really want to do the master's degree about the law, but it's failed because life betrayed me again and again. So, like, it's hard, but that's life. So, just beat your head, draw blood. So I think college exists for the education, obviously, but at the same time, we should admit that college is the learning center to preparing your job, future job. Like, so I think we should consider this both factors. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting to you. I promise.
Alrighty, so my name is Chris Krause, and I am the manager of the Office of Multicultural Student Engagement here at SCC. And before this job, I was actually working as a career coach. So like I was working in high school, helping students to figure out what they want to do after high school. And the one thing that I would stress to students is to really just, explore those opportunities. So by a show of hands, how many of you all have visited our career services department yet on campus? One? Okay. Two? All right. So one thing that you may not know is that the Career Services Department offers a career assessment. So by a show of hands, how many of you all currently feel like you're undecided about what you want to pursue after high school or after college or currently? Okay. So my recommendation for you all is to seek out those services from Career Services, because there's no point of you wasting your time going to school and not knowing what you want to do when you can go to Career Services and help to identify those career interests, those values, and those skill sets that you already have. I know whenever I was a college student, I was unsure about what I wanted to pursue. I knew that I wanted to help people, but that was super broad. And people were in my ears saying, oh, you should do X, Y, and Z. And I did X, Y, and Z, and I found out quickly that's not what I wanted to do. So my recommendation is to really utilize Career Services so that you can actually identify. So whether you wanted to do be a tattoo artist, or whether you want to be an HVAC technician or a surgical tech, whatever the case may be, you're going to school with a purpose. And I know that as you're going to school, let's just say that you're going to school for welding, but yet you want to be an engineer. It's okay, because guess what? You are going to get a technical skill set that's going to help you to fund your education when you're pursuing your education in engineering. So right now, by you being an SCC, that's a great choice because it's less expensive than UMSL or Mizzou, but we do have services similar to those universities that you can actually take on and save up a lot of money as well too. So I challenge everyone who is a student here to utilize the career services like ASAP, just so that you can actually identify what you wanted to do, and just always to be a continuous learner. Just because I'm in this role does not mean I'm going to be in this role forever. So just always think like long term is okay. The stuff that I always tell students every day, like when I work with, like the choices you make today will impact your future. So as you are trying to figure out what you want to do, continue to say, okay, I'm doing this because I know 2 years from now or 3 years from now, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. So my recommendation is just utilize Career Services, ask for help, and just talk to people like, the VPs, the deans, your instructors, myself. Also, to talk to just anybody that you know, that you feel like, okay, they can help me to get to this point and stuff like that. And if you want to be a doctor, ask your doctor, like, hey, how did you become a doctor? And then he or she or they may tell you, like, hey, don't do what I did, do this route. Because as a person that went through school, although I'm in this position, I don't have that much money in debt. There's some things that I wish I would have changed. Like one thing I wish I would have changed was after completing my associate's degree, after attending a 2-year school, I wish I would have went to a program that gave me a technical licensure, so that as I'm trying to pursue something else, if I have to take a break from working in higher education, I can actually do that on the side and stuff like that. So just do those things. And like I said, if you forget what I'm saying right now, if you see me on campus, say, hey, what were you saying during Democracy Open Forum? Because I will remind you, because like I said, the choices you are making right now are going to impact you. So by y'all being here and hearing this message, it's going to impact your future self.
About career services, you're already paying for it in your tuition and fees. It is a service to you. You should go visit them, find out what they're about. They have the Handshake platform, which will find you a job right now. If you need a job while you're a student, you can stay connected after you graduate from SCC. They will help you with your job search. They help you with resume writing. They help you with interviewing skills. They have a career closet if you don't have the right suit for the interview. So you're paying for that. You pay for that staff and that space. It is your space. It's like the money that's left on the table. We have people here ready to work with you and for you, and when you don't go visit them, it makes us very sad.
So one thing that you said, Chris, that I thought was good was like purpose. People go to college to find purpose, to fulfill their purpose and stuff like that, whether you are a staff, faculty, or student. Either it's all purpose. And I was going to ask Tiffany, about your purpose, because you came back to school after taking a 5-year gap.
I took a 5-year break. I started off, I was like, okay, I'm going to take a semester off because I don't really know what I want to do. And then that turned into 5 years. And then I wasn't even going to come back, but then I got Pell Grant through FAFSA. So if you can apply for that, you really should, because it can definitely be a lifesaver. But I still don't know what I want to do, but I'm here figuring it out, and at least I'm back.
Yeah. I was going to say, even if you don't have like a straight, like, you know what you want to do. I mean, that's what community college is for. It's cheaper. It's more, sorry. No.
Less expensive.
Less expensive. I don't think there's a negative connotation to cheap. But
And the test they have the little quiz you guys have at Career Services is really helpful too, because it'll pair you up with possible careers that work well with your personality traits and such. So it's really good resource. Go take that. They'll be happy.
yeah. But let's do another one. That was a great conversation. I think so. Okay. Let's not talk about that. Sorry. I want something that relates to what we're talking about. Sorry, okay. I know I have the power. Sorry, guys. Okay. Do you want to do this one? Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like...
Sure. This is talking about the future of AI in education, involving ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Does anybody have some opinions on that?
I was gonna say first, I'm not gonna tell people, I'm not gonna tell the faculty to shut their ear or shut their eyes and people raise their hand. We're just gonna all say we collectively use ChatGPT. Okay, so even if you don't, you do now. So, yeah, but.
I mean, yeah, I think there's definitely beneficial ways to use it. So like I play soccer and I didn't really know what to write to like send out to colleges. So I looked up on ChatGPT like a short like introduction and like how to basically like introduce myself efficiently and how to get coaches to like look at me. And I actually used it and there's a few schools that were looking. So I think there's definitely good ways and bad ways to use it. So, yeah. What?
Oh, yeah, they are, yeah. Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It definitely, I mean, I can. It's just like, oh, are we both holding? Okay. So it kind of like the bad ways, the way that's like, there's a negative thing to it, it's AI. So it doesn't know that it's plagiarizing. It's just like grabbing things from like different sources. And then that's like you're accidentally plagiarizing, and that's where it can be bad. But I think it can be used in a good way because it can paraphrase to make things more efficient. I think like if you're like writing an essay and you want like a better, and you feel like it's not efficiently written, you can take it and then have it paraphrase for you, so then you can find a better way to efficiently. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Let me paraphrase this. Let me have AI paraphrase this. That's what it should be. It should be assistance.
A tool to assist you, not to replace you or me.
Yes. Because it's just like if it is like in College 101 we're learning about the student handbook and like plagiarism and all that stuff. It's just like that. It's definitely an outlet if you're feeling like you're working smarter, not harder, because that's kind of like well, you kind of have. You have to work harder, not smarter, and feel like you're kind of like getting an out to, it should be more of an assistance than doing.
Don't let it replace your original thoughts. That's the whole process of education, is for you to churn the information and show what you know.
Yes.
And if you're struggling, talk to your professor and say, I'm struggling to tell you what I know about this.
Yeah.
We are paid to help you. That's my whole job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like good and bad things in it. Like if you are doing an assignment and you just don't want to do it and you take exactly what the AI says and turn it in, like obviously
we can see
yeah,
that.
And you can tell.
Painfully obvious.
Yeah, AI is not smart sometimes. Like
So, but like if you were to, like what you were saying with the, like your own words, or even if you were to get a whole thing, like you can read it and get maybe like the understanding of it and then do it yourself. Like taking an entire, like I just.
It should be more,
Yeah.
it should be more used as like an idea churner, like to give you
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah, like if you're stuck and you have no idea what to do, like what you were saying with the college application, or like that makes sense because like you want to be perceived as like an intelligent person, and like getting the right wording to say something is totally fine, but like taking like the entirety of like an essay to do and have AI do it makes no sense.
I guess it's just like, it's mostly just a matter of question, like what is the line that's, when is it going to be too much?
Is it, you know when
And it's
you've
like
gone
just-
too
it's like just a
far.
big
The
gray
minute you
area.
hit submit.
I say gray because it's all about intent. And how can you know someone's intent by, I mean, sometimes it can be plainly obvious. The intent is, oh, I just needed a quick, easy A, and I'm using ChatGPT or whatever to generate this essay. But like, it's so hard to, because you can't know someone's intent, because you can't know someone's brain, because it's unique. So that's what you're saying, like where do you draw the line? It's like, that's a good question. Yeah.
That wasn't the first thing that came to my mind when thinking about that, and that's a good idea. I like that idea. But when I thought about AI and education, I thought about it from like, what can the educators use this for? And I don't really know much about personalized learning, but if you can use AI to learn how someone processes information, you can definitely help a lot of kids. And I know I had trouble, early middle school, I did get ignored by my teachers because I did have ADHD and I couldn't pay attention. So if we can use maybe more tools to help in teaching people, then I feel like it could be very helpful to the full education process.
That brings up a good question, or just like a kind of a transfer thing. What do you guys believe that, like, should instructors use ChatGPT, like, or like AI generated stuff to help create lesson plans and stuff? Because if we can use it, why can't they use it? You know, like, is there, like, I don't know, a discussion? Did you want?
Again and again me. So I've never used before the ChatGPT, but I know how is it working. So ChatGPT is a little more different than the older AI. So it's more like human. So sir, ask me anything about something.
Can you develop Einstein's theory of relativity?
So if older AI searching on the web and give him to certain information that correct, or like Google Scholar, but ChatGPT like, Einstein's new theory, that's interesting. Then, well, let's assume that Einstein made a light, like a god, like answer this, and with very fancy words. And you didn't know that this is real or not if you don't have any background knowledge about this. And yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because not only does it take from sources, but it also takes from social medias and different blog platforms. I say blog.
Yeah, and it just scraped every information. Yeah. every information on the web, so it could be inaccurate. And actually, it more like should be inaccurate. Yeah. So, and I really don't think that many student level like bachelor degrees level student cannot decide that this is wrong and this is right about the information. So maybe instructor could use this, but at least not for a student. That's my view.
It may replace intelligence. It will not replace your integrity. And once you've been accused or proven to have been plagiarizing or cheating, it's really hard to reestablish your credibility. It's easier to start with it and maintain it than to use ChatGPT or plagiarize in some other way and restore your integrity. And that doesn't feel good. You might as well start there and let it be a tool to help you create and generate ideas, help refine your words in a new and different way, but do not let it replace your energy, your effort, and your integrity, most importantly.
Any other thoughts? Okay, because all of our what? 'Cause all of our other ones don't really relate to any of this. So, here, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Take your time. Oh no, I just mean like you do have a thought. Yeah, I do have a thought.
Hey guys, so I heard from a math faculty member, and they compared ChatGPS is to composition classes like a calculator is to math classes. And I really like that way of comparison. But here's what I want to throw out there to you all. Different jobs are being replaced by AI. You know, there's a strike going on with writers, for example. So is that really what you just picked up? Okay. So yes, so the writers, there's a strike. They don't want to be replaced by AI. So here's my thought. If you are letting ChatGPS write the entirety of your papers and do the entirety of your work, aren't you kind of like paving a way for them to take your future jobs because you're not getting the skills? That's my thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That actually goes great into the next prompt that we had. So there are multiple strikes going on right now. Okay, sorry. Sorry, yeah. So there is, like the Writers Guild, as Liz, she said, negotiating the better pay and stuff, and the whole thing with ChatGPT and AI. But there's also, oh my lord, there's also a auto worker riot right now with General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis, if I said that right. So that includes like Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. And they're all like, better pay, like what we said early on in this conversation about how pay has kind of stagnated while tuition has gone through the roof. But anyway, like what are your I guess thoughts on this? Oh my lord. Sorry, I'm trying to think. But like, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, with these not riots. Oh my God, sorry, strikes. They are not riots.
Auto workers who didn't have to go to college to have careers, but are struggling to pay the bills. Now we're asking you to get the college education and not promising you the wages that you will need to be self-sustaining and self-sufficient. Mm-hmm. Then what?
Yeah. But are there thoughts on that? I mean, yeah. I don't know much about this topic, so I'm kind of blank on this.
I don't know a lot about this topic as well, but I do you can see the evolution of computers and stuff taking over, even at Walmart. There's not really any checkouts anymore. It's all self-checkouts. So you gotta think about where's all those jobs going for like checkout people or the Instacart stuff? Like where, like all the jobs are disappearing for them because it's all being taken over by computers. Like, I don't know. That's all I really know on the topic, I guess.
Think of the movie WALL-E.
Yeah, WALL-E. Yeah.
Well, I mean, every time like our industrial revolution happens, there's definitely a change. It's not, I wouldn't say it's right to just lay off an entire area of the workforce. If you are going to replace it, it should be more gradual. But one thing that I'd like to make a point of is, since you don't really have to pay like workers if you can replace the jobs, and one of the reasons why a lot of companies outsourced a lot of their manufacturing to China is because it was cheaper labor. So if we're able to automate a lot of these processes, then we can bring, one, you can bring like technician jobs back into the United States, and it would be better for the country as a whole to have the manufacturing take place here. And that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. So that kind of, it's kind of weird how this really relates to ChatGPT and like working with like school and like students and stuff, because like it's the same thing for like auto workers. It's like, why get better pay when we can replace you with this machine, you know? It's like with students, with the ChatGPT, is like, why give you my effort and work in this, on this essay if I can just done, you know? It's, I don't know what else to say, but like it's crazy how these really relate. Do you guys have any thoughts? Or yeah.
Going back to like the writer's strike, I believe like all these studios that they worked for are being treated like businesses. Like they don't have to pay the people, but they can pay a machine too for less of the price. I mean, for less of the salary, and it's very, very weird. Like that one girl said over there, I work in retail, and it's crazy. It's like going to Walmart, you don't see any people on the registers. It's all self-checkout. Going to Target, all self-checkout. Even like the Five Below in Wentzville, they said it was for like an experiment to see how many people would use the self-checkout instead of like using people, because like I have a friend that worked there. They said they're always understaffed, and I'm like, I wonder why.
Yeah, the Five Below out here in Boogie Hills Plaza, it's all self-checkout. There's one person sitting by the self-checkouts, but there is one singular. But there's no person checking you out. Yeah, like with your items. Yeah, sorry. I don't know if you had anything.
We're running a little low on time, so is there one more question? Is there one last question?
Yeah.
I don't have a question, but I'm just going to say that AI and technology, it's being upgraded and everything while we're growing. And before, there was no AI jobs or anything, but now that AI has taken jobs, it's also given jobs. There have been jobs made for computer analysis, everything like that, technology-wise, that get paid a lot. And that's because of technology and because it's been made. Mm-hmm. And even though it's taken away a lot of jobs, you can also see an uprise in other jobs.
Yeah. So not only a bunch of negatives, there's also a bunch of positives to counteract that. Yeah.
Shifting jobs. Okay, thank you all for coming out for this. We will have a session after this with former Judge Ted House about the attacks on public education. And at 1 o'clock, Dr. Joe Bauman's class will present their student writing on protest writing. So thank you for coming.